Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be doing the do's and don'ts when playing the US Air Attack tree. So real quick, if you haven't already, make sure to hit a like and subscribe. Let's get on with the video. Alright, so you're in rank 1, you just started the game. You're going to start with the BF2C1 and the P26A34M2. I suggest going for the P36A and P36C. They have good guns, decent turn time, and a good low wing fighter that's going to get you introduced to dogfighting pretty quickly and get you accustomed to how a lot of the aircraft in the US Tech Tree play. Also, go ahead and get your P26. You can play the naval line. I suggest getting to the F2 as well. Do all this in rank 1, and you don't really need to touch the strike fighter and bombers too much. The PBYs are fun, but they're not great. Alright, moving on to rank 2, and this is where it's going to shine. I suggest you get the P400 immediately. It has great cannons and guns. You'll have a lot of fun with it. And I suggest getting the A36. With gun pods, this thing becomes a menace, and it flies a lot like a P51, so it's a very early P51 basically. You also have the P40s, which is very good aircraft. P51 I would stay away from. This is an okay aircraft and people like it, but I don't suggest it for new players. The P38s are okay, the E is good. The G1 is also decent, but not a whole lot of differences, so just play the E. The P39N is really good, and the Q is also really good, but again, not a lot of differences, you can just play the N. These are the best aircraft right here, the fighter line. Also, the F4U Corsair, the 1A and the 1D I suggest getting, but since they're folded now, just really get the 1A. It's an okay aircraft. The 1D is better, but it leaves a lot to, you don't have to grind 3 aircraft just to get the 1 aircraft. And the Hellcat. Again, it's a folded vehicle behind the F4, F3, and F4, F4, so not really worth going for because it is the folded aircraft. Otherwise, decent tech line. I suggest going down this one, and getting these aircraft and the A36. The bombers get better. The P25Js are nice, but for the most part, I stay away from them. And premium-wise, you only really have a few that I suggest getting, but I don't really would stay away from these low-level premiums. If you have to get one, I suggest getting the KI-43 or KI-61. They're highly maneuverable Japanese aircraft, and they're okay to play. Moving on to rank 3, you have the P63s, and the P63s are good. They have really good guns. Again, you don't really need to play the folded vehicles, nothing special. And overall, you're going to have fun with that. Now, here's where you get to get into my favorite aircraft. Planes like the F4U4, F8, and F6. These are really, really good aircraft, and I suggest getting them. And you get your first bit of P47s here. P47 early can, believe it or not, bomb an entire base. So definitely keep that in mind if you're looking to get this aircraft, as well as the D25, but you don't really need to get it. It's folded. The P47 D28 also is a really good aircraft. And if you like strike fighters, the P61C is not terrible. It carries 400 or 500 pound bombs and good 20mm cannons. Moving on to rank 4, you have your F-82E. I don't love the airplane, but you can definitely do good things with it. Your P-51D30 and P-51H5NA are also really good aircraft. My favorite aircraft is the F4U-1C and F4U-4B. I suggest getting these aircraft, both of them. The F4U-4B is phenomenal for ground battles. And then you have your F8F-1B and F7F. The F7 is a fun aircraft. I really suggest getting it, but again, it's folded, and if it hinders your grind, I don't suggest it. And then strike-wise, you have some fun aircraft like the AD-2, AD-4, and AM-1. And you have bomber-wise the B-17 late and B-29. I try to stay away from bombers as much as possible. As far as premiums goes and like event vehicles, it's very expensive, but the A1H, and you actually do see your first jet in this BR as well. The P59A is a event vehicle that you can purchase. I don't suggest purchasing it. It's a lot of money, and you're better off just getting a premium. And then you have a couple of phenomenal Corsairs, like the F4U4B VMF214, AU1, F2G1, A1H, and F7F3 are good Navy fighters. Alright, moving on to jets, rank 5. Now, here's where it gets kind of iffy. Your F2H2 has less ammo, but 20 mils. Your F80 has good maneuverability, but 50 cals. F84 has good strike capabilities, but only 50 cals. If you have to pick one to start with, I suggest going for the F2, because you do get your options to the F9, which will be your first aircraft with missiles. The F9, F8 is the aircraft that has missiles, so you could blitz your way through these 4 planes if you wanted to. Plus, now with all these folded vehicles, you can get through these faster. There's also the folded vehicles here, and the folded vehicles as in the Sabres. Sabres are good. This is the only playable one in my mind, at least, because the other ones sit at too high of a BR. But you can decide that for yourself. The F80C10 has really good CAS options, and it will open the doors to you getting things like the F16. So I do suggest getting it. Maybe not playing with it, though. And then strike-wise, the F3D and F84 are pretty good, and you have your B-57s, one of which does not have a gun, one does. Overall, okay aircraft. Moving on to rank 6. You have Sabres that I would avoid. The Super Sabre. You sit at a higher BR, but no flares, but you get really good missiles. You have your F-104s. The A really isn't playable. The C does get AIM-9Bs, so it is a bit more playable, and you could play it if you want to. Otherwise, I suggest getting the F3H2 and F8U2, as the F8U2 carries really good IR missiles. And then strike-wise, you have the A4 and the FJ4B, which is a modified Navy variant of the Sabre. Otherwise, an okay aircraft. And the AV-8C gets really good missiles at 9.7. And also, this is going to be the first BR where I suggest, if you're going to get a premium to get one, that is either the AV-8A or A10 early. Both are really good aircraft, but if you really want a good premium, wait for the next 2 BRs. This is where you're going to get into some funny stuff here. This is where you're getting into really high, fast aircraft, super maneuverability aircraft, and getting your way to get to top tier. Do's and don'ts. Do get the F5, do get the F8, and do get the F4J. The F4C lacks, okay? It will be your first Phantom. It does not have flares, and it fights AIM-9Ls and R60s, which are highly maneuverable, 30G, frontal aspect missiles. You're going to suffer a bit. But it does open the door to the F4E Phantom 2, which I do suggest getting. It is a really fun airplane. And then you have the A10A Late, which can carry 4 AIM-9Ls compared to the A10A Early, which is a premium version, and it gets better air-to-ground missiles, and that opens the doors to the A7s. The A7s are really fun. The A7E is really good. Also, this is the last BR that we have bombers currently in the game, and that is the F-105D and F-111A. Both are okay, but have bad missiles. Moving on to rank 8. You finally got here. What do you want to do? Well, a lot of people blitz their way to the F-15A. I don't blame you if you do that. Fun airplane, really good. I don't suggest not getting it. I don't suggest getting it. Do it what you want. Really, once you get to this BR, I suggest blitzing for the F-16C. It's going to get AIM-120s in the next update, in the next few updates, and it's just going to be better and better, and it's a very fun aircraft. The F-16As, you get the F-16A first now. It used to be you get the ADF first. The F-16A is fun, but, you know, I would get it and then just, once you get the F-16C, sadly, just don't play it. Because this is the strike variant of the F-16, and once you get the F-16C, it's better in every single way, except a little bit in maneuverability, but you don't lose that much. The Tomcats are always fun, the F-14A and F-14B. These will open the doors to later variants of like the F-18 and F-14D, so get them if you want. And I know I might have just talked a little bit of hatred about the F-15. It's not a bad plane. I just personally am upset that we didn't get the F-15C. But if you really want to get the aircraft, I strongly believe you should. It is a good plane. As far as if you're just going to buy a premium, I suggest getting the F-4S or F-5C. Both are really good aircraft. But please, 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 don't be at rank 2 and rank 1 and buying this aircraft. Wait a while. Just, play a bit. Get to like rank 3. See how the grind's going for you. You can buy premium time. Spend $10, $15 to get premium time. Just see how it's going after that. No need to go immediately throw $70 into an aircraft that you're going to do terrible in. Just enjoy yourself and have fun in the game. That's going to be it for this video. Please comment down below what video I should do next, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.